for us to clean the certain rules that are needed for us to clean our data. Like I always say that when you are cleaning your data cleaning is more like removing unnecessary information from a particular set. That's what we mean by data cleaning. When you are removing
Sorry, I
unnecessary
can't
information.
see the video. Sorry,
You said?
I can't see the video. Like I can't see the screen. It's blank.
You can't see I've not shared screen yet.
Okay. Sorry.
So it's like removing unnecessary data from what you actually want to clean, or maybe the data you have. So for example, let's say you are talking about Nigerian politics and someone is now talking about business around you. So there is a need for you to remove such person. You understand? So you can see that sometimes someone might create a particular group for a particular program, and another person are actually doing adverts on that group. They are trying to spam that group. So the host or the owner of that group needs to do what? To remove such people. So in order to clean their data so that some intruders will not come and distract what you are doing. You understand? So that is why we want to do data cleaning, and you will so much enjoy the class. So secondly, we also talk about VLOOKUP, talk about if error. You understand? So those are the things that we are going to talk about today. And we also tell you the usefulness of doing VLOOKUP and why it is needed for you to do if error. So I'll share my screen now. I believe you all can see my screen, right?
Yes, we can see it now.
So you can see this is data cleaning. We'll first do data cleaning, then we'll now move to what? We'll now move to the VLOOKUP. You look at this data now. Just look at this data. Look at it. You can see the date, you can see the clients, you can see the contact, the department, region, payment, revenue, profit, and profit margin. Can all see, right? Can all see? Am I communicating?
Yeah.
Can see data. So now compare this data, this clean sheet, compare it to this rough sheet. Which one do you like? If you are an analyst,
Clean sheet.
you like the clean sheet, right?
Yeah.
So, and there are certain guidelines that you need to follow. I actually put these guidelines so that it will be easier for the student to be able to go back if there is any mistakes. So these are the functions that we are going to use. Can see autofit row and column. You use Alt HOI or Alt HOA. Then find and replace, Control H, of course. Lower and upper, just type lower. And if it is upper, you want just type upper. So text to column, you understand? Text to column, you will see it there. So removing duplicates, filling empty cell, if error, formatting, guidelines, and all that. So those are the rules that we are going to be following. You understand? Those are the rules that we are going to be following. Now, let's say we want to do this rough sheet now. You know, I taught you the other time how to actually copy and let me say move and copy. So we can see this rough sheet now. I don't want to tamper with it. I can just right click on it and I'll click move or copy and I'll say new, or let's say create a copy. Then I'll say okay. You can see that I now have rough sheet 2, right? So I can now, let me say I want to rename it. So I can name it as AJH slash demish okay, let me just put demish cleaning. Then I will decide to paint it. So this is the particular data that we want to work with. We want to work with this data and then we want to clean it, right? We want to clean this data. Can you still hear me, please?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so we want to clean this particular data. So the first thing that we need to do is that you can see that there are a lot of margins. So the first thing is we can actually highlight everything, yes, and go to format and use our auto fit, row height, auto fit, row column. So I can just click any of these values. I can click any of it, or you can just click any of it and press your Control A to highlight everything. Once you press your Control A, just come to this home. When you click your home, come to this format, click on auto fit row height and auto fit row column, right? Then click on it again, format, auto fit row. Can you see now that the data is well structured? And another shortcut that you can use, just say, okay, this is the data. I press Control A, then I'll press Alt. Can see when you press Alt, can see that all these key will be showing. Then I'll press H. All these key will still be showing. Then I'll now go to O. Can you see the format? I'll go to O. Then I'll go to what? I'll go to either A or I. So I'll go to I. Can you see now? Then I can still do the same thing again. Alt again. H, O. Then I'll now go to I. Because I've already gone to A before. I'll go to I. Then, okay, I've not been to A. Alt H, O. I'll press A now. A. To close that gap. You can see that the gap is actually closed. So now we have already structured our data now. Every data are well fitted to the what? To the cell. They are well fitted to the cell. So the next thing we are going to do here is that you can see all these one are written in capital letter, right? And you can see there are open brackets and close brackets. So what we need to do is that everything inside the open bracket, they are not useful. So we need to remove them. So how do we remove them? Okay, first thing, let's remove duplicates. Those ones that are appearing maybe 2 times or they are appearing in 3 times, you understand, we remove their duplicates. So what we need to do is just click on it and press your Control A, then come to your data, click on your data, can see this remove duplicates, this one that is having times, click on it and say okay. You say 3 duplicate value found and removed, 28 unique value remain. Note that count may include empty cell, space, etc. Yes, okay. So we have just removed duplicates. So the next thing we are going to do is that all this one in open bracket and close bracket, we
Sorry,
remove
sir,
it.
please, we do the duplicate again, sir.
Okay. Control Z, right? Then put here and press Control A. Come to where? Come to your data. You can see this one that is having star, as if someone actually missed that number and then now cancel it. Can see that cancel. So it's the one that is remove duplicate. Click on it and say okay. Tell you that 3 duplicate value found and it has been removed. Can see that it has been removed and you say okay. So the next thing we are going to do here is that all these ones in brackets, we remove them also. All these ones you are seeing in brackets, we remove them. But how do we remove them? First thing, you can just say, okay, you put your cursor here, press Ctrl Shift down arrow to highlight it. And another thing you can do is that you can just highlight it from this place and highlight it down to this point, right? So having highlighted, what you need to do to remove it, just press your what? Just press your Control H or you press your Control F. So I'm pressing Control H. Can see. So I've pressed Control H. Now say find what? What do you want to find? I want to find open bracket. This one that is written in open brackets. So I'll just press open brackets. I'll put asterisk. That asterisk is representing the value inside that open bracket. Then I'll close it. Am I right? Why I needed to put that is because there are other values inside those brackets that you are seeing. So that's why I decided to represent it with asterisk. Then what did I want to replace it with? Nothing. I don't want to replace it with anything. Then you say what? Replace all. And you say okay. Can see that those ones inside the bracket has been removed automatically, right? So another thing we need to do here is that, do you understand, please?
Yes.
Again,
Repeat the
please, sorry.
process, please.
Yes.
Okay. So
Please repeat the process,
I'll
please.
repeat the process. So what I said is that, can you see this column C now? We want to remove every value inside that bracket that you are seeing, including the bracket. We want to remove them. So all we need to do is you highlight the whole place, highlight it down to where the data actually ended, right? And press your Control H. I've already told you Control H means to replace, while Control F means to find. But sometimes when you press Control H, it will still bring find and it will still bring replace. So like I said that all these ones written in brackets, you can let me say you can represent it with asterisk sign. Asterisk sign. So that's why you are seeing, what did I want to find? Find what? I want to find open bracket, asterisk, close bracket. And what did I want to replace it with? Nothing. Then you now click what? Replace all. And the whole bracket will leave. You can see now that you can no longer see them. So another thing we want to do here is that all this one that you are seeing, I can decide to represent everything in what? In what will I call it? Should I say in a small letter, or let me say in a lowercase? Yes, small letter or lowercase. So you can represent everything in the lowercase, and this one you will do what? Because their name, you can represent them in a proper form, and then you trim it. You can see that everything is just scattered. So you can represent them in a lower form, then you trim it, right? So what you need to do here first is that you create a column here. Put your cursor on this D. Can you see this D? So you can put your cursor there and click on it. So automatically it will highlight the whole column. Then you press what? Press Control. You just press your Control Shift plus. You can see. Then it will automatically give you a new column. So you just say equals to, then you pick on this client and you press enter. So now we want to represent all this now. We want to represent Amazon.com Inc. in small letter. Then you say equals to lowercase, that is lowercase. Then click on this and press your word enter. You can see now. Then I can just put my cursor here. Once I see that my cursor has changed to plus, then I will not double click. Can you see that it fill everything for you? You can see. So it has filled everything for you. So, but if you now come to this place now and say, let me remove this one, Control minus, can see that it will show as ref. It's actually referencing. It's telling you that there is a formula embedded in what you just did. You understand? That's why it's putting as ref, right? So all you need to do first is that you come here, Control Shift down arrow to highlight everything, right? Once you highlight everything, you copy and you paste it as value. That is, you want to remove that formula equals to C2 that you are seeing. You can see it on that formula bar. I want to represent it with value. Then I'll press Control C. I will now paste it again, Alt ES. I'll paste it as what? As value. Then I'll say okay. Can see that is the client is no more C what? Is no more C2 or something like that. You can see the client is now client that's been filled with what? With value. So it's no longer a formula. Then you now come to this C and you press your what? Control minus. You can see that it's no more showing as ref. It is automatically done and it is okay this way. Can see. So you don't have problem with the date. The date is okay. It's okay. So you will now come to this contacts. I believe you understand, please.
Sir, the problem is, how did you shift this thing? You were too fast. Like, inserted a new rule.
You're
Okay, let
fast.
me come back. I'm not fast. Well, let me say, okay, I'm fast. So, like I said, I'll go back. Can you all see, please?
Yes, you can see.
Okay. Okay, so now you can see that here we have these all these values, right? All these names, and they are written in capital letter. So we want to structure it to small letter. Am I right? We want to structure it to small letter. So what we need to do here is that this D now, you click on top of this D, put your cursor on D, and you click. So when you click on D, when you click on D, just press Control, that is, you hold your control down, hold your shift down, and press your plus. You can see a button that is plus there, and there's equal sign there. The reason why I'm holding shift down is because of the equal to that is there. Because if you not hold shift down, it's telling you that okay, it is equal to that you want to press. But because I'm holding shift down, that means I'm navigating to the second keyboard or the second key, which is plus, right? Please stop making noise. So I'll write your name if you are making noise. So consider I will now press shift, then I will now put that plus. Am I right? So I'll press Control Shift plus. Sorry, the key is actually highlighted. I need to remove that this copy that I've done before. So yes. So just put your cursor on this D and press Control Shift plus. Then it will give you what? It will give you an empty column. So from this empty column, you can just say, put your cursor here. I want this client you are seeing, I want it to be here. If you like, you can type it, client, right? And if you like, you can just say equals to, then you click on this and press enter. Because I want the same thing. That's why I need to put equals to. Then another thing is I want to change all these capital letter. I want to change them to small letter. I will say equals to lower, right? I'll click on this lower. I can see that there is a function called lower. I'll click on it. Then I'll click on this amazon.com Inc. Then I'll press enter. If you like, you can close the bracket before you press enter. But sometimes it's always good to close the brackets, right? So once you do this, you can just highlight it from this place down to the last value, to the last place here, and press your Control D to automatically fill. Another thing, I know I told you the other time, you say that you use Control D, or you say you just double tap, or you just draw it down. So is any of it, you can just draw it down to this point.
Okay, sir. So if you want to do for higher, for capital letter, what is it? What is the formula? Is it
upper?
Okay, upper, no.
Yes, yes. So here also you can just say, okay, I'll double tap here. Another thing, that is another way. So you can see that we've just done the right thing. So you now come to this place. Like I said, if you want to delete it like this, Control minus, you'll be seeing #ref. So the best way for you is that you should just, first thing, you highlight everything to this point. Highlight everything, or you just press Control Shift down arrow key. It will automatically highlight for you. Control Shift down arrow key. Sometimes it's always good to master all these shortcuts, at least 2 shortcuts in a day. Before you know, you already master all the shortcuts in Excel. So Control Shift down arrow key, can see. Then you say Control C and you paste it as a value. Alt ES, can see now the value is here, and you say okay. Can see now. Can see. So I've already pasted it as a value. You might find it difficult to use Alt ESV, but you can easily come once you press your Control C here. You can see I highlighted it to this point. I highlighted it to this point and I say Control C. You can see. So once you press your Control C, you can just click on this your is it home? Yes, home. You can see this paste. You come here, paste as value. You can see paste as value. You can see number format. This value, you can see this is value and number format. So you can just click on this value. It is still the same thing. You can see it has already pasted as a value. So the next thing is that you can now come here and say you click on this C that you are seeing. Put your cursor on this C. I want to remove that that column. I want to remove it. I will now say Control minus to remove that column. So now I want to work on this D now. This D, I want to you can see that B Smith is not written well. It's not, number one, it's not proper. And the gaps, they are different. You can see there are two gaps, as if you are writing letter and you're trying to put paragraph. So I don't need paragraph. You understand? So I'll come to this E. I'll come to this E. Hello, please mute your mic. Don't fight with your wife. Oh. So you put your cursor on this E now. Can you see? Put your cursor on this E. Once you put your cursor on this E, just press Ctrl Shift plus. You can see now it will give you another column. Then you can now come here and say Ctrl equal to, then click on this contact and press enter. So now we want to do this Smith now, B Smith. B Smith. So since we want to do this B Smith, what we need to do is equals to press trim. I want to trim all those unnecessary, let me say, all this space. I want to trim it, right? I'll click on this B Smith and I'll press enter. You can see that it has trimmed everything. But now the next thing is that I want to write it in a proper form. I'll still click on that B Smith again. I will now come to this equals to, at the back of this trim, I'll come there and I'll write proper. I'll click on this proper. Then I will now come here and close it. You can see that because we have two brackets, the first bracket is for trim and the second one is for proper. Then I'll press enter. You can see that it is fine like this. That is how to write name. The first name is written in capital letter and the first letter on that second name also is written in capital letter, which is okay. Then I will now put my cursor here. I'll click it 2 times. Can see that it's okay like this. Everything is well written. Then I can put my cursor on this contact, Ctrl Shift down arrow. Like I said, you can easily highlight it by yourself without using shortcuts. Then I'll copy it and paste it as a value also. So I've copied it now. So I don't know the code. I don't understand how to use Alt ESV. Then I can just come to this my paste. You can see the paste here. Below the file, you can see the paste. Then I'll click on it. You can see paste as value. I'll click on this value. Then I'll now come here and say Control minus. You can see that is okay, right? It's okay. We all understand, please.
Yes, we understand.
Well,
Yes,
yeah,
Please, can you go over it once again, please?
Okay. Now, okay. So what I was saying is that I want to change this one. I want it to make sense. First thing, I will remove all the unnecessary space and I'll also capitalize the first or the initial letter. I'll capitalize them, right? That is how to write name of people. So if you want to write your name now, the first letter will be capital letter and others can be small letter. So that is how to write name in a proper form, right? So what you need to do here is that you come and click this E. Click on this E. You can see that this one now is already copied. So I need to remove it. Ctrl Z. Smith. Okay. Ctrl Z. Okay. So it's okay now. So I'll click on this E. Once I click on this E, the letter E, that's where you put your cursor and you click on it. Automatically, it will highlight all the, can see now, all the column, including the one that we don't have any value, to highlight everything. Then once you do that, just press your what? Ctrl Shift plus. Can see now, it will give you something like this. So once you have this empty space, then you can now come here and press equals to, click on this contact, enter. Am I right? So the next thing we are going to do, we change this B Smith, change it to proper format and remove all this unnecessary space. How do you do that? First thing, you trim it, equals to trim. Then click on this trim and press this B Smith, enter. Then you now come to this formula bar. Click on this B Smith, come to this formula bar and put your proper. Can see proper. Click on this proper to automatically open brackets. So that means you need to put a black bracket there also, which I have done. Enter. can see that the bismuth is well done. Can just highlight it down to this point and press your what? Press your Control D. You can see that it fill it well. You understand? Or you can just say, okay, since I've done one, let me just put my cursor here. You can see that it's changing to plus. You just double click. Or another way is that you can just put your cursor here. Once you change to plus, you start dragging down to the last value. Then it will still work fine, right? So like I said, you can just highlight everything here, or you press Ctrl Shift down arrow to highlight. Me, I always like shortcut because it makes me fast. It make my work faster. So I'll just press Ctrl Shift down arrow to automatically highlight. Then I'll press Ctrl C and I'll paste it. You can come to this place. If you don't know how to use Alt ESV, come to this place and click on this. Then you paste it. You can see this paste V, right? So you can see that I've pasted it. Then I can now come here and do what? And say Control minus. You can see I've already deleted that one. So I'm structuring my data small. Can see now. Now I will now come to, do you understand now, please?
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. When I was trying to trim the first one, that Bill Smith, is telling me error like name. It's saying name question mark. When I use the equals to trim and I click on the Bill Smith,
and I error.
Press enter. Yes.
No, you cannot see error.
It said the formula contains unrecognized tests.
Oh yeah.
Are you using the old Microsoft Excel?
Yes, I'm with the system.
Shebi, you are using Microsoft Excel now. The one you install properly, or not the Google stuff. Shebi, is that what you are using? Okay, I think our baby is crying, so that's why I decided to mute. Okay, so don't worry, I will answer you later once you are done. Now you can see this department. Can you all hear me, please?
Yes.
Yes,
we can. We can
Yes.
hear you, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello,
Can see
Mr.
this?
Lasisi. Hello, Mr. Lasisi.
Yes, sir.
Did you send any link to be able to install the Microsoft Excel? The proper
No,
one.
I didn't because I sell them. So it's
Okay.
because I'll be the one to install it for you. When I share you the link, you download it. Then I'll now install it for you using there is activation link that I have that I'll send to you. Then I'll connect with you on maybe Zoom or Google Meet like this. Then
How much is it?
it's just 2,000. Then I'll guide you on how to install it and make sure that it got activated.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll do that later.
All right. So you can see this department. This department actually contains both departments and the region. Cloud Tech is in Texas. Strategy is in New York. Strategy is in New York. Operation Florida, Cloud Tech, Texas. So we want to separate it. We want to separate department from region. Am I right? So all we need to do here is that we'll highlight it. You can just come here first. Let's come here first. Come here and create another fresh column. Control Shift plus. You have already created another.
Look at not me very well. I want to see that sheet. Not very well, sir.
Which one?
And the one you are doing now. I want to
Yes.
see so that I see very well.
I should shift it like this.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
So you can see that here we have department, we have empty column. So this empty column now, we need to write, you can just type region here. You can just type region here. Region. You can see now we now have region. Now, how do we now do it to move all these Texas, New York, Florida, California to this place? How do we do that? That is where the problem is now. I don't know why this one is typing region here. Just remove this, Control Z. So now, how do we now put all these Texas, New York? That's where the problem is. If you don't know Excel, you start typing Texas and you start deleting this one, start deleting them. But there are short ways to do that. Just highlight everything here, highlight it down to this point. After highlighting it, come to your data, click on data. Can you see this text to column? You click on it. Click delimited. It's already in delimited, not fixed though, but delimited. Then you now press next. What is actually separating them? Which is what? What is separating them is what? Is what do they call this line? It's not hyphen.
Underscore.
Underscore,
Okay,
yes.
Underscore.
Yes. So you press your what? Shift minus to put that underscore. You can see. If you look at this data now, this one, can you see this table? You can see that it has already separated the Cloud Tech and Texas. That's already separated it. Then you say next. You still say next again and say finish. You can see that all the Texas, all the region, it has moved to this new column, right? So you just finish it. You can see, very simple. Everything has been moved. They have been separated. Even if you have three things, you can easily separate them.
Sir, please, can you repeat that exercise?
It's not a magical. Yeah, let me repeat it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you can see that we have region here. I want to separate this Texas, New York. I want to separate it from Cloud Tech and let all those Texas, New York to move to this position, right? Then I'll highlight everything like this. I'll highlight everything to this point. Once I highlight it, I'll come to text to column. This delimited, you can see it's already in delimited. If it's not in delimited, let's say it's in fixed, I'll try and click delimited. You can see it says character such as comma or tab separate each field. But if it is fixed, it says field are highlighted in a column with space between each other. Then I'll click on delimited. Once I click on delimited, I'll say next. So what is actually separating them? You can see the sign. You can see. Please mute your mic, please. Once you discover that you have another thing to do, you can just mute your mic, be doing them. That one does not mean that you will not still hear us, but we will not be able to hear you, right? So you can see this underscore now is the one that is disrupting my department and region. That's why I put underscore. So there is no underscore here. Let's say there is space now. I'll just click on space. But because underscore is not here, I'll decide to click others and I'll press this underscore. Then I'll say next. I'll say finish. You can see that Texas, New York has been moved to this region, right? Texas, New York, they have all been moved to this region. So we are good to go. We are good to go. So another thing we want to do is that can see all this space, we will still put values there because it is not good for our data to just have empty space. So it is good to just put value, either NA, you just put it like that. So now we can see that we have all this value here. So there is a need for us to structure this. All these div slash zero, we don't want. Why? Because you can see that when you say revenue minus profit, or let me say the profit margin, you can see the profit margin here. So how do we calculate the profit margin, accountants? How do we calculate profit margin? Percentage profit margin. How do we calculate it? You can see that if you want to calculate profit over revenue, right?
Yes.
Yes. You can see that if I say equals to, if I click on this profit and I say divided by this revenue now, I press enter. You can see that it will show as div error. If you notice in our secondary school, in our secondary school or university, anytime you want to divide a value by 0, you understand, it will give you an indefinite value. So indefinite value such that you will not have 0, you cannot give you 0, but it will be giving you error, something like that. So that means it's not possible for you to have a value and divide it by 0. So you get. So that's why it's giving us as div error. So we want to do something regarding this div/0. How do we do this? Click on this 13.3%. When you click on it, come to this formula, you can see that we have I3/H3. Then I'll come to the front here and I'll put a function called if error. I'll click on this if error. So it's not saying that, okay, if error, what is the value? This is the value. Comma, what do you want? Which value? Which value do you want if it is not right, or if it is an error value? I want NA, right? I want NA. You can just say column. Sorry, you can just say what they call this quotation mark. Yes, quotation mark, and press your NA, then close that quotation mark and close the bracket, press your enter. You can see that you still have 13.3. Then if you now drag it or you just click it 2 times, you can see that all the error has been changed to NA. Can see. So that means your data is well clean. So there's nothing like, once someone see it, it will say NA. You understand? It will be like, okay, I think there's no way you can divide this by this. Or you can say not assign, not assign, NA, not assign. So it's not actually, it cannot divide. That's why. But we don't want a place whereby you'll be having error. If you notice, school of nowadays that we send our children to now, when if you check their marking script, you will never see a teacher scoring them by missing it for them, unless if it's still public school. But all this private school, you will never see them missing it. They will only put dots. You understand? So you never see them missing it for them, because sometimes when the children is seeing all those things, they will start crying. You understand? So we don't want us to be crying over our data. So it's better for us to put NA. So that's why we are using if error. You can see that our data is well structured. Of course, it's well structured and it is well clean. So if you now come to this guideline, you can see that auto fit row height, we used it. Find and replace, lower, trim, text to column, we have used it. Removing duplicates. It is now, even if error, we have done that. So it is left with filling empty cell and formatting that our heading. You understand? That is what is left for us. Filling empty cell and formatting. Then you now say, okay, grid line. I don't want grid line. Then you remove the grid line. Now let's go back to the stuff.
Sister, you're too fast.
I'm too fast.
Yes.
Yes, sir. You are too fast.
Abdullah, bá ń bá Mojib sọ pé kó yá mi ní earpiece 100 earpiece. Mojib, ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ rí fast.
Ẹ kó fast o.
Yes. Ọmọ fẹ́ lò fún system.
So I'm not fast now. Am I fast? I'm not that
Please
fast.
do the error part again.
No, they're not fast.
I'm not fast now. So let me do the if error again. You can see that we have all this value here, right? We have all this value. So what we need to do here is that we want to remove this div 0, div error. We want to remove them. How do you remove them? Click on this 13.3%. Am I right? Then I said you should attach if error. Let's say our data was like this before. Just type if error. Come to be even immediately after the bracket. You know, I always tell you, anything you are starting with a function, it must start with equal to first. So you now say if error, right? If error. Then click on this if error. And then it's saying that, okay, you can see what if error is reading. You say value, okay, I'm coming. So you can see when you click on it, when you click on this if error, you can see it say value. What is the value? This is the value. The value is that profit divided by revenue is the value, right? Then value if it is error, the value if it is error is NA. Don't worry, you will still see the impact of this value when we are doing our VLOOKUP. By the time we enter VLOOKUP, you will see the effect. Can see now. So from here, you now press your what? Enter. So if you press your enter, you see you have 13.3%. Then all you need to do is you can just highlight everything down to this point and press your Ctrl D. So that is when it will take effect. And if you don't know how to use your Ctrl D, you can just put your cursor here. Make sure that your cursor change to plus. Then you double tap, just double click, and see that it will change. Do you understand now, please?
Yes, we understand now.
Okay, fine. So what I want to do now is that all this space, I don't want it. So instead of me having all this space, what I need to do is I want to represent it with NA. All this space. Imagine you are having like 100 or 1000 space. You can just do it at a what? At a click, and everything will fill for you. So how do we now fill it? The first thing, you put your cursor on this first one. On this first one, put your cursor here. When you put your cursor here, press your Control A. When you press your Control A, you will come to this your home. Come to this your home. Come to this find and replace. You can see this find and select now. Come there and click this drop down. You will see go to special. Can you see this go to special? You click on it. Then you now click on this blank. All this blank. You don't want blank. You can see blank. Right? You say okay. So you can see that it has filled all the blank space. If you come here, you can see all the blank space, it has already filled them. So just come to this formula and type your NA here. NA. So now you can see that it's NA now. So before you press your enter, just hold your control down and press enter. Every other places will be filled. I'll hold my control down and enter. Can see NA is inside every other places. Even if you are having 1 million space, free space, everything will fill up. Can see that is a good data structuring. You will repeat that statement again?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so like I said, I want someone to be guiding me because I don't know how to do it, but I want someone to guide me. So what did I say initially when we started? What did I say? I want to represent all this now. I want to put NA in all this,
Control A.
You click on
right?
NAMP.
You highlight the
You
data.
first put your cursor here, Abi.
Yes.
Then you now press your what?
Control.
Control A.
Control A.
Okay, thank you. I'll press Control A now. I'll press Control A. So what next will I do now?
Find
You
and select.
Find and select.
I'll go to find and select. Then what next again?
Go to
Go
special.
to special.
I'll go to
press
special.
here.
Then where will I go again?
Click
Blank.
on blank.
Oh,
Blank.
thank you. Analyst. I'll go to blank. I'll now say okay,
Okay.
Abi.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
So what next will I do now?
Go to the tab.
Function.
Oh,
The function
Oh
bar.
my God. I'll go to my
Function.
formula bar,
Press
right?
your NA, yes.
Yes.
I will
NA.
now type NA. So what next will I do?
hold control and
Enter.
press enter.
Oh my gosh. I'll press my
I
control
thought you
down,
said you
enter. Can you see that you people have gotten it right now? Can see. Very simple. By the time you go through the video again and you are practicing on your own, you see that you'll be able to do any data cleaning. So me now, anytime I see data now, I can easily clean them. Following this step, I'll clean them. So that is it. That is it. So you can see that we have already cleaned our data. And what next? If you come to this your guideline now, the next thing is just to do formatting and grid, go to view and remove the grid line. So what I'll do next is that I'll just highlight everything from this place. I always it's like anytime I'm doing my wedding now, is this color I'll choose. If my wife she not agree, I mean self no go agree. So I'll just click this dark blue. I'll click on it. I'll now come to this can you see this white now? I'll click on it. You can see that's already changed. You can see now that I now have white and all my heading is now making sense. It's making sense. So you can see that everything is okay. You can see. Though you might still have space, and you might tend to use your Alt HOI, Alt HOA, can still use it. Just come here and press your Control A, right? Press your Alt HOI, Alt HOA. Can see everything will be, you can see everything got fitted to the what? To the column and to the row. You don't some people they don't like wasting notes and they're actually helping their parents. You understand? Can see. Can see the way my data is it's making sense. Everything is well packed. See it now. So the next thing we are going to do here is just come to this your view. How do you want to view it? I don't want any grid line. All this grid line I don't want. I want everything to be pure. Can see that it's pure now. Everything is pure. As if you are using a what did they used to call drawing book. Can see now. So I'm using drawing book. Can see it making sense. So now look at this data now and compare it with this clean sheet. Can see it's almost the same thing. Just that this one is not well. You can see this for itself. So what I need to do here is just press my let me press Control A, Alt H, sorry, Control A, Alt HOI, Alt HOA. Can see now. So the only thing that is different that makes this one different is just the heading color. Can see, and the font. Maybe this one is 12 now, and this one too is 12, but just that here is bold. Can see. Can see now. Well structured. Can see my data. Can see now. Look at this one now, and look at this one. It's almost the same thing. Almost the same. It's even the same, not almost. Can see the same thing. So I move
Sir,
this so that all this one.
I used the Control T for table, then I went to view, but it's not giving me this clean option.
I didn't press Control T now. Did I press Control T?
Okay,
I
you didn't
didn't
press
use
Control
table.
T.
No, I only highlighted everything from here. I highlighted the heading and I just pressed this color. Press this color. I use this one as white. I didn't convert it to table. So you can see now. It's making sense. So we just clean our data and it is lovely. Imagine Damola is working with Amazon and it's a cloud tech.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
That's it.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please, that side. Please, how do you see that side? The one, the place where there's no anything that's good in there. Please, how do you see it?
Which side?
This side you put your offer now. At least, how do you see that one?
Okay, this
The
color.
place,
The
yes,
green
yes, yes.
line, the green line, that's what
The
it's
grid line,
asking.
Abi.
Yes. How do you
Okay,
see it, sir?
okay. Can you see this grid line now? I want to remove this grid line. I don't want it. You go to view. You can see this view. Go to view. Then you remove it. You can see that it is checked, but I won't check it. Can you see? It's under view. The grid line is under view. You might write an Excel exam and they will tell you that okay, where is the grid line located in the Excel? It is under view. Just you want check it. It's under view. Especially all these free spain too, they can ask where is it located? Free spain too is under view. Have I taught you how to free spain?
Yes, it does, sir.
No, you've not taught us.
No, I've not. I don't think so. Don't worry. Tomorrow, free spain should be part of what we are doing tomorrow. Because tomorrow we are doing how to use flash fill and how to do maybe function. Let's say, for example, how to do all this minimum, maximum, if function. You understand? That's what we'll do tomorrow. So it's everything. We can't do everything once. It's step by step, right? So you can see now that we now have a very clean data. Now you just finish your data now. So you can decide to try it by yourself. Try it by yourself. By the time you see that okay, you are perfect. Then why now enrolling for other classes? By the time you now see yourself being perfect, then you can now be practicing till the time you now be doing training for others and monetizing your skill. So you get. So that is it. Now we'll now go to the VLOOKUP. I believe we all understand
I
before
have
we
a
come to the.
question, sir.
Oh yeah, ma, I'm listening.
Okay. This particular one, after we have done all this, can we put table? Like
You don't need table now. You are meant to clean your data now. You don't need table. You can leave it. Or do you wish to put table? If you wish to put table, you can put it now.
okay,
But
is
it's
it
just for you.
professional?
You can put it. But in an organization, maybe you are working and you are meant to clean this data. Might not need a table unless if your guy say, oh yeah, put table. Or you don't need table. But if you want to put table, you can put it. Sure you get.
Okay.
So you can see now we have just cleaned our data. let's now move to VLOOKUP. And this VLOOKUP, I want you to put your 100% concentration because
Sorry,
this.
sir.
Okay.
I had a question before. I wanted to ask you then that on the Excel sheet, when under client, when you were changing Amazon from higher to lower, like
Yes.
if you want to change only the first letter, capital letter, and the next word, capital letter only, like this one now, it didn't show us that one. We want to change only the first letter and the end space, then the next letter.
Don't worry. Tomorrow, when we are doing our flash fee, you will understand what I'm saying. So you get.
Okay.
But I said it the other time. I only change it to proper. Remember, I say lower,
Yes.
Abi. When I say lower,
Yes.
it means that it should change it to small letter.
Yes.
But when you are not saying proper, when you are saying proper, proper means that the first letter should be in what? In
Capital.
capital
Capital
letter,
letter.
while others should be written in small letters. So you get. Like me now, my name is Ojo Lasisi now. The first letter of Ojo, which is O, it will be in capital letter, and the first letter of L,
Yeah, that's,
Lasisi, also will be capital letter.
yeah,
So
that's
you
what
get.
he's saying. Yes.
So that is it. You said I did not show you, Abi.
Yes.
Okay, I will show you now. Of course, we are all doing training. So now, let me go back to my data cleaning. Let's say I want to show you how to put that one. Let me just say, okay, I can do it anywhere, of course. I can do it anywhere. I'll say equals to upper. Can see this upper. I'll click on it. Then I'll just click on this B Smith. I'll press enter. Can see that it's written in capital letter.
Yes.
Everything is in capital letter. So that is upper. So if you want to say, okay, lower, equals to lower, I'll click on this lower. I'll click on this. I'll press enter. Can see now, everything is written in lower. You can see, everything is written in lower letters. Do you see now?
Yes.
So if you now say, okay, I want it to be proper, equals to proper, I'll click on it, enter. Can see that it's in proper. Can see
Okay.
that it's in
Okay.
proper. So that is it. That is it. But don't worry, tomorrow you will understand how to be faster in that area. You just be typing one button and everything will just be working as if you are doing magic. So now we can move forward, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So you can see that here we have our data. We have the action, or let me say the assignment. This is our assignment, and these are the things we will be doing as an inventory officer. Imagine that Ojindamola is working with Nestle Nigeria as an inventory officer, and then she's meant to be paid maybe 10 million naira every month. And you that you are paying Onyindamola 10 million naira, at least you should be able to see how productive Onyindamola is, right? Because if you are paying such amount of money and you are not earning times two of that, or let me say Onyindamola is not working times two of what he's collecting, then I'm not sure you are a profitable boss or you are a boss. Let me say that. So now you are expected that Onyindamola that is preserving those food items in the store, that at least Onyindamola should be, if not 100%, but at least should be 90%, accurate in ensuring that those food items are not getting spoiled immediately. You understand? So in inventory management, there's what we call FIFO and LIFO. FIFO means first thing in, first thing out. That is FIFO. And LIFO means last thing in, first thing out. So what does this mean? What does this mean? It means that, sorry, come. So what it means that, for example, now I bought maybe drinks. Maybe I bought drinks. When I was serving, I happened to be a store manager in one hotel. So I'm the one that is always in charge of all those drinks. So I don't really know about how to use system and all that at that time. So I always notice that sometimes I can just say, okay, I'll check drinks and I'll discover that this drink has already expired. It can even be like 10 crates, everything got expired. And they will now say, okay, you people should just share it and be drinking it. And that is how it will just, you know. So that means the company has already lost 10 crates. Imagine when one crate is 700 naira times what? I think it's 12. It's 12 in a crate. So you just multiply it then times 12. Then you now multiply it times 10 crates. You understand? We've lost a lot of money. Can even pay like 3 people's salary. But we have no choice than to dispose them or share it to people that in need of it. But to avoid all those things, we have always learned that anything that we bring in, of course, they will all be recorded in the system. So you should be able to know that, okay, in my store, I have like 150 items in my store. So that 150 items, some were bought last year, some were bought this year, and it is meant to what? To spend at least 1 year before it gets expired. So the one that are actually purchased last year, those ones will be, please mute your mic.
Listen to my
So
lecturer.
please mute your mic. So you can see that those ones that you actually purchased last year, they are meant to be at the front, and the newer ones that you bought this year will be at the back. So that whenever all those waiter and waitress, you understand, whenever they come and request for something, it is those old ones that you will now give to them. Maybe those old ones, maybe in the next 2 weeks, it will get expired. You can give it to them. At least people can still buy them before it gets expired, rather than putting those ones inside and bringing the new one outside and start giving it out. You understand? So then me, I don't really know about that. I can just, once I bought it, I'll just put it inside the store. No arrangement. I'll just be giving it out. Before you know, two crates has already expired and all that. So coming to this VLOOKUP and IFERO and all that, I happen to understand, okay, this is what they do. Imagine you are selling drugs. Of course, you need to arrange those ones that will get expired soon at the front and sell them off, because once drug expired, it can even damage the body rather than just taking it, and you understand, it can damage the body more. So that is what we want to do here. You can see they say your team has been given a list of transactions that requires additional follow-up. Identify the associate distributor below using the VLOOKUP. In your company that you are working for, they may not be giving you theory like this. Your boss will just say, I sent a data to your Outlook now, just check it. Identify some things and be able to do the VLOOKUP over there. You understand? So you will know. Sometimes they might not even tell you VLOOKUP, but you will know that, okay, I'm meant to use VLOOKUP in this scenario. So what we want to do is that we want to identify the associated distributor. You can see now these are the distributors, these are countries, and we want to associate this distributor here, right? So all we need to do is using the VLOOKUP, say equals to VLOOKUP, right? Click on this VLOOKUP. The VLOOKUP is saying what value are you actually looking up to? I'm looking up to this value, comma. It said the table array. Can see that 23265 is starting from this particular column, and that is why we are highlighting from that column to this point. That's my table array, comma. What is the column index number? Remember, column index number where the names actually belong, the name of the people you are looking for. You have column 1. Why am I counting from there? Is because my table is starting from there. This my distribution ID is starting from there. That's why I'm counting from there. I'll say 1, 2, 3, right? So that means I'll type 3 there, 3, comma. Always click on exact man because it is the exact value we are looking for. It's either you click on you type 0 or you put false. You can put false or you can put 0. Still the same thing. Can see when you are, all the electricity made in your house is consists of 0 and 1. For people that actually did physics, 0 and 1. 1 is for on, 0 is for off. So the same thing is applicable here. 1 is for true, 0 is for false. You understand? Then you press your enter. So you can see that the name Irabican is actually belong to this unique ID or distribution ID. Then you can do what? You can just drag it down to this point. You can see Anika Timan also. is 23315. 23315. Can see. So it is just follow this formula. Sometimes when you are using formula or function, always follow all those things that is written under it, and you'll be using it as a guide for yourself. You understand? Till you become perfect. Do you understand now, please?
Come again, sir. Please
Let
come
us try.
again. Please come again.
We are
Okay.
fast.
One more time,
Okay.
one more time.
I know
Please come
fast.
again, sir.
Okay, I said you use VLOOKUP equals to
Yes.
VLOOKUP,
VLOOKUP.
right?
Okay.
You click on this VLOOKUP. It said, what value are you looking up to? I'm looking up to this value. I'll press comma. What is the table array? Remember, this particular distribution ID is starting from this one, right? And that's why I'm highlighting my whole table from that point. Can see. That's why I'm highlighting it. Then you say comma again. It said, what is the column index number? The column index number, I told you, where you start counting from is where you are highlighting your table from. So I start counting from here because I highlighted it. I'm not counting from A. I'm counting from B because I highlighted it from there. I'll say 1, 2, 3. That is where the name is, and that is what I'm looking for. Then I'll press 3, right? Comma, I can click this first. Then I'll close it. Then I can just drag it here, Control D. You can see now. You can see that it's simple. Do you see now? And do you understand, please?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we
Now
understand this one.
good. So let's move to the second one here. It said, you seen the sales data set. This is
Sir,
the
please,
data
before
set.
you move forward, so sorry, you did not put the states.
And because it's saying that we should use name. It's only the name that we are looking for, not
Now we have
state.
to use. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
it's the
Thank
name we
you.
are meant to look for. Thank you. So it said problem 1B now. It's no problem. Solution 1B. So using the sales data set tab, this is the data we are meant to use. Using the sales data set tab, let's pull the sales channel for each distribution ID. So this is our data. You can see the sales channel here. That's what they said we should pull. You can see that we have a lot of data. We have a lot of data. Even if you're having 1 million data, you will still use the same logic, right? So the sales data, we want to pull it out using the VLOOKUP. You say equals to VLOOKUP. You click on this VLOOKUP. Looking up value, you say this one. Say this one. Your table array. What are your table array? You need to go and highlight from that place, right? You need to go and highlight from that place. So that means you'll be highlighting from this place or this one because these are distribution ID. So that means you'll be highlighting from here to this revenue, or you can stop at this sales channel depending. But what I always do is that to avoid mistake, what I always do, let me clean everything first. I'll come to this my data. I'll name this my data. I will name everything. This my data. This table, I will name it. I can just click on any button. I'll press Ctrl A. So if I press Ctrl A, automatically I've highlighted it. Can you see this E9 now? E9. Then I can rename it to what? To table. Table 1. You can see that I'll just press enter. So I've already renamed it. So anytime I just come here and click on table 1, you can see that it highlights all the table for me. You can see. So that is the best way so that to avoid mistake. Do you now understand how to name a table now? I said you click on any value. Just click on any value, press your Ctrl A. Once you press your Ctrl A, you will see a button here. Highlight that button and say, now correct it or rename it to table 1 and press enter. So you can see that everything is now table 1 now. So anytime you just come here and click on table 1, you can see everything will highlight. Do you understand now, please?
Yes, sir.
So you now move to your VLOOKUP now. Now move to your VLOOKUP. You now say equals to VLOOKUP. Click on this your VLOOKUP. What are you looking up to? This particular distribution ID, comma, your table array. Remember, we've already named it now. You just type table array to display table 1 and say comma. So your column index, so you need to come back to this your data and check where the sales channel is from. I can just say, okay, for me to move, because if I say let me move to this data now, if I say let me move to this data and now check, okay, the sales channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is in 5th one, right? I'll come to here again. So I will need to edit this value first before I can put that 5. I'll need to edit it. But me, I don't like editing, so that I'll not go and do some mistake. I can just press, I'll press control page up. When you check your button, you see control page up, you see page up and page down. Page up means that you should move to the what? To the left. And page down means you should move to the right. I believe that when you people wrote the assessment, you see something like this now. Page up and page down. It was there. So you can see. So it means that you move to the right, and page down means you move. Page up means to move to the left, and page down means to move to the right. Right. So I can now I'll press my control, and I'll press my page up. You can see that it moved to the data side, and I'll now say, okay, distribution ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For me to reach my sales channel, I'll press my control page down again to move to my VLOOKUP. You can see that there's nothing changed there. I'll now press 5, comma. Then I'll press false, which is 0, like I told you, and I'll press enter. You can see that I show retail. Then I'll now drag it to this point, Control D. Can see that I show retail, online, direct, online. So now let's say that we now come here now, this 23347, we want to confirm whether it's actually online. And this 23288, we want to know whether it is direct. I'll come to this data, 23347. I'll come here, click on this place, Control F, right? Control F, I'll say 233, okay, 23288. I'll say find all. I can just say find all, or I will say find next. You can see 23288. Now come here and look at it. Is direct, Abby?
Yeah.
You can see that it's direct. So if you come here now, you can see 23288 is direct. Okay, let's check this one whether it's online. 23347.
Huh? What is this?
I'll say find next. 23347. You can see it is online.
This is not the Dodokere, this is Adu. Which one is the Dodokere? I think I don't. Okay, Dodo is Dodo. You normal Dodo that you eat. No, it is Adu.
Understand? Do we understand? Stand now, please.
The screen has gone blank. Oh.
Please, you can't see your screen again.
Can you all hear me, please?
Yes, sir, but we can't see your screen
We
again.
can hear you. It's only your screen that we can see.
Okay, let me share again. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I believe we understand this problem 1B, Abby. How to use the VLOOKUP. So let's come back to this one. They said note, unique ID needs to correspond to the lookup value. You understand? identify the sales channel and quantity amount associated with the distribution ID below. First thing we need to do is that since we want to identify the sales channel, quantity and revenue, what we need to do here is just highlight everything here and copy it, right? Copy and paste it here. Just paste it. You can just paste it as a value. Then you now come back to this place. Come back to this place and solve the problem here. Solve the problem here using this particular table. Said note, the lookup value location is in your data set. It is only revenue that will be gotten from data set because there is no revenue in this particular space. So now let's use the same VLOOKUP. Daddy, mute your mic, oh, mommy. So you just do what? You just say equal to VLOOKUP. Click on this VLOOKUP. You can see this VLOOKUP. Click on it. So what are you looking up to? I'm looking up to this value. I'm looking up to this value. Then what is your table array? If you like, you can just highlight. Since we are dealing with sales channel, if you like, you can highlight from here and stop here. Or if you like, you can just finish it here. So let's say we are stopping here, for example. Let's stop here. So you now say that, okay, oh, what is the next now? Once you say comma, the next value is talking about okay, sorry. I think there is an error here. Open bracket, my lookup value is this, comma. The table array is starting from here to this point, comma. Then it's now saying that what next? Say column index number. What column index number does sales channel is? You see column 1, you see column 2. Remember, this is where our highlighting is ending. So we don't need to count this, we don't need to count this. Just say 1, 2. So it's in column 2. Then you come there and say column 2. Just press 2, comma, 0, right? Then you close it and press your what? Enter. You can see that you have direct. So from there, you can just highlight it here and say Ctrl D. You can see that you have direct. Why this one is showing NA? Let me see if 23303 is actually there. 23303. Okay, it's actually there, but the reason why is that is because you can see 23303 is there, but it's actually indirect. Why? Because it is picking it from up down, but on getting to that point, you can see that 1 is at the top, so it needs to locate that one. And how you can locate that one is when you now come here. You just come to this your table now and press your words F4. F4 means absolute referencing. You can see I'll put F4 here. I also put F4 here. That is absolute reference. I'll press enter. You can see that when you now drag it down, it automatically corrects itself. Do we understand now?
Can you repeat that exercise? I didn't get how you
repeat that one again, Abik.
Okay. Can you see my data now? I want to extract all this online. Maybe for example now, let's use the real life scenario. For example now, you can see that in this our online meeting now, can see that I can say that we are 70 in numbers. So this 70 I cannot see the name of anybody. I don't know the name of anybody. So I can actually identify each and every one with a unique number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I now want to locate your side, I can easily locate you with your number. I don't want to know your name. But I want to know your number. It is when I now know your name, that's when I will now be hearing Adelugba. Oh, Adelugba is from Ekiti State, abi. Ilubo niyen. Okay, from Ikere. Family, we are family. You understand? And it just remain 1 mark for Adelugba to qualify for this scholarship. You understand? I will now say, ó ti qualify. Ẹyọ kan ló kù àbí? Ó ti qualify. Now imagine that 10 people, they actually need 10 people. And that 10 people, even 11 got qualified though. They got the mark. But because I know Adelugba, that means one person that actually merited it, that one is off. Person will be like, I scored it now. Why was it? What happened? I was not given admission. It's not that you don't qualify, but because Adelugba is from my state and it's from my community. So that means he needs to enjoy or she needs to enjoy community benefit. Shey you get? But let's say it's just unique number. I don't know anybody name. So if you like, Bibiani Lasisi, you are not qualified though. Shey you understand? So that is why we are using that is what Excel or let's say computer actually recognize. Computer actually recognize 1 and 0. Any other thing, it doesn't understand it. It is when you are not typing Adelugba, it will not convert that name, convert it to what? Convert it to that binary number, and it will be able to transform it to that name. Sure you get. So that is it. And that is what we want to do here now. We want to use VLOOKUP here. Say equals to VLOOKUP, and you click on this VLOOKUP. It's not saying what is your lookup value? This, comma. What is your table array? You are highlighting from this. I told you. It is where you're looking up value is starting from. That is where you will highlight from, right? Based to this sys channel. If you like, you can extend it to fine. Then I'll say comma. Then column index number. The column index number. Where is the column index? Is 2, 1 and 2, right? 2, comma. Then 0. Then I'll close it and I'll press enter. You can see I press enter and it's giving me direct. You can see that 23353 is this. Is direct. 23289 is this, is retail. 23378 is this, online. 83 is this, online. 24 is this, retail. You can see that it follows from here, it follows you to this point. So it now got to this point, now got to this 23303. That one is at the top. You can see it's now at the top. But how will he locate this one at the top? Will he be coming down and quickly will not jump to the top? No, you cannot do that unless you use the absolute referencing. You can see that here I just draw it down here. But here is putting NA, hash NA. So we need to use absolute referencing here. And how do we do that? The only way we can do that, you can come here and correct the absolute referencing. You can come here and put $sign. But you can also come here also and put your $sign. So I said it the other time that when you press your F4, it will show the absolute referencing. You can see. If I put my F4 here again, I press it again, it will put the $sign. And the combination of this $sign and this $sign means an absolute. You can see that is absolute. But at the moment whereby I'm putting F4 again, you can see, and I put another F4 here, can see that it is only picking the value and value. That means they are related. Am I right? That's relative referencing. So when you are now putting another F4 again, they are putting another F4 to show this is picking C, and this one also is picking B. Is still what? Is still related, relative referencing. But the moment I'm putting F4 again to show the value, can see it's only showing value. So sometimes, okay, you can see this one, there is no F4 again, but it's picking only this C. That's when you're not talking about row and what and column. You understand? And the row is always in numbers, but here now it's showing column referencing. So there's a need to use absolute F4. Then you come here again, F4. Make sure you put $ in everything. F4 on that table and press your enter. You can see that when you now drag it to this point, it will automatically correct it. Do you understand now? Do we understand, please?
A bit.
Yes.
Don't worry. When you go to the video, you understand more. All right. So let's say equals to VLOOKUP. Click on this VLOOKUP, right? Looking up value, this, comma, table array. I already tell you that since we are dealing with quantity now, Since we are dealing with quantity now, you highlight from here to this point because you are dealing with quantity. Or you can say I'm highlighting from here to this point. So let's say we are using these two, right? Then you now put your comma. So what is your column index? Your column index is 2 also because your table is starting from here, 1 and 2. So you put 2. You put 2, then comma 0. Because it is what? An exact match. 0 is for false and 1 is for true. So you put 0. I know some people will be like, why are you putting 0, 0 and everything? There's no one that is even having 1. The reason why is because I want exact match. Let's say you have maybe 1.80 and you now want to use approximate match. 1.80. That means if you are using approximate match, at the end of the day, it will give you 2. The value for 1.80 will give you 2 because you've already approximated it. You understand? Something like that. So that is what it means. So you will now close the brackets. Remember, I've already told you that you should put your what? Absolute reference in here. I press F4 once. Here too, I press F4 once. And it's putting $4 sign. Then I'll press enter. That's when I'll be able to drag it to this point and I'll get the exact result. Do you understand now?
Yes.
So the revenue,
Yeah.
we are picking the revenue from the table. Remember, we have already named our table, right? We have named it, this is our data, we have already named it table 1. So you just say equals to VLOOKUP, pick this VLOOKUP and say this, comma, table 1, right? Click on this table, you can see that it showed table 1. Then, comma. So your column index, I already told you that you can press your control page up to go to the data. Can now count the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is where the revenue is in column 10. Then you now come back, control page down, then you now put 10, comma 0, exact match. Close it. Close it. You can see you cannot be putting dollar sign on this table. Can't put because it has already been named. That's why sometimes it's always good. Just press your enter. So from there, control what? Control D. You can see that you are having something like this. Very accurate. Very accurate. Can see very accurate. So that is exactly what you have there. Can see that is exactly what you have. So let me put one here and see what you will see. Let me put one here. Can see I'm having 2, 3, 2, 4, 3, 6. Now I put approximately match. I put 1 here now and I enter. You can see 750. And if you now drag it now, you can see all the value changes. I don't even know where the value are coming from. You understand? So it is always 0. Put 0. Put 0. Then you can drag it down and you have the correct values. So that is how to use VLOOKUP. So before we move to how to use if error, and this one is more complicated than this, but you need to understand the first one first. You need to understand it. We'll soon finish. So I want to hear your question. Do you have question before we move to the complex ones? So far,
Sir,
so
that
good.
renaming of the table. My own table is not renaming. No, I don't know why. Maybe it's there. I didn't get it
No, it's
because I
supposed to
tried
rename
it.
now.
Same
Okay,
as
you are
I,
with your
mine is
laptop,
not
Abi?
remaining too.
You are with your laptop, Abi? Everybody is
Yes,
with
I'm
his
with
or her
my
laptop.
laptop.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I want to rename this one now. Let's say I want to rename this now, right? Put your cursor in any value here. Just click any value. Click any value. Have you done that?
Yes.
Yes.
Or press Ctrl A. Have you
Okay.
highlighted it?
Yes.
Come to this. At the top of this A, can you see this A, B, C, D, E, F? at the top, you will see what is written there. An alphabet, Abi.
Name boss.
My own is showing C13.
C13. Edit that C13. Just highlight that C13.
Done, sir.
Have you highlighted it?
Yes.
Oh yeah, name it. Name it anything you want. Maybe table. You can even
Name it
name
table 1.
table 1. Oh yeah, press enter. Have you done that? Have you done
It will
that?
not go. It will not show.
It did not show.
Yes, it's showing you must enter a valid reference you want to go to or type a valid name for selection. That's what it has been showing since.
But you've already named it now.
Yes, I've renamed it. Anytime I want to press enter, it will show that.
Same yet.
But you have already named it.
No,
You
it
have
will go
named
back.
Yes, I've named.
You have named it, Abi.
Yes.
I've named it, but it do not name. It do not
Come back
change.
come back to that drop down. Come back to the drop down. Click on that drop down. Do you see table 1 there?
No.
No.
It should work now. Is there a way you can share your screen? Is there a way you can share your screen? Someone should share his or her screen.
I think it's
I think the problem is they put space in it. They put space in there. The name does not allow space. The name does not allow space. Table 1 as one letter, as one word.
Don't put
No
space
space
now.
in
You don't need
between.
to put space. Don't put space. You don't need to put space.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the problem.
Has it worked now?
Yes, it has worked now.
Okay, thank you. So now let's come to next VLOOKUP with if error and put the names associated with the distribution ID. These are what we are going to be pulling down from where? Everything here we are pulling it from the data set. Sorry, we just have like 15 more minutes to finish up. So please just bear with us for the time. So you can see that we have all this now. So we want to put them from the what? From the data set. We want to pull it from the data set.
People should try and mute their mic, please. People should try and mute their mic, please.
Can you all hear me, please?
Yes.
Okay. So what we are going to do here is that we'll just come here and use our, remember they said next VLOOKUP and if error. We want to use two functions together. We want to use two functions together. And how do we do that? Put your cursor here on this, under this country, put your cursor there. When you put your cursor there, come to this formula and click on formula. You will see logical there. Click on the logical and click if error. You have already clicked if error. You can see that an argument function actually come up. So this argument function that come up, then we put VLOOKUP inside that value that you are seeing. You type VLOOKUP. When you type VLOOKUP, just close the bracket, open the brackets for the VLOOKUP that you have typed. You can see now, I just open the bracket. I don't close it though. I type VLOOKUP and I open brackets. I don't close it. Then you now come and click on this VLOOKUP that you are seeing on the formula bar. You click on it. When you click on it, it will display the argument function for VLOOKUP. Then come to this VLOOKUP. Can you see the lookup value? Can you see the lookup value? Then come here and click on this, your distribution ID. That's what you put there. Your table array. How do you table array? We have already named our table as what? As table 1. Can see it. When it's correct, it will showing you distribution ID, distribution name, country. That shows that your table is correct there. So your column index number, where the country is actually, that is the column index number. Let me tell you can decide to use your control page up to move to the data set. What is the country? Because we are dealing with country is in 1, 2, 3. So that means we'll put 3 here. And the range, I always tell you that it is actually 0, right? It is 0. Then you will not say okay yet. You will now come and click this if error. So that is, if it is error, what do you want? I want NA. If it is error, then you now say okay. You can see that it's showing South Africa for this particular. This is the country. Then you can now drag it down to this point. You can see that the reason why it's showing NA here is because all these 40,000, 30,000, 35,000, they are not in our what? They are not here. They are not in our distribution ID. That's why it's showing something like that. And that is how to do it. To avoid errors, you use if error functions. So we also do the same thing here. You also do the same thing here. Put your cursor here, come to logical, click on the if error. What is the value if error? VLOOKUP. Open brackets, only open brackets. Then come to this your VLOOKUP, click on it to display the argument function of the VLOOKUP. Remember, we are dealing with name of person. Then click on this one. What is the table array? We've already named it as table 1. What is the column index? The column index of what? Column index of the name of people over there. Control page up. What are the names here? Can see here we have names like Darwin, Abbott, Tadmark, and so on and so forth. So those are the names we are looking for. 1, 2. That means we are going to press 2 there, and 0 here. Then you now come and click the if error bar. Don't click OK yet. Come and click the if error bar and put your NA here. And you now say OK. Can see we have everything here. You can see now. Very correct and accurate. So what is now the revenue? How do you calculate the revenue? We still use the same pattern. You still use the same pattern. You say what? Logic. If error. What is the value? VLOOKUP. Am I right? Open bracket. Then come and click this VLOOKUP and say the VLOOKUP value is this one. The table array, we've already named it as table 1. Column index of what? Of the revenue is 10. If you go and check it, if you come to control page up now, can see when you count all the column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is where the what? The revenue belongs. Then you put 0. Once you put 0, don't say okay yet. Come back to this your if error. Click on this if error and see my arrow. Click on the if error and say NA. Then you say okay. From there, you drag it to this point. You can see what you are having here. Correct. Then we now calculate the total equals to sum. Click on this sum and highlight everything here to this point and say enter. You have this value. Do we understand now?
A bit.
Yes.
I think I'm slow now. I'm slow enough.
Yeah,
So, okay, let's listen to this one clearly also. We are doing the same pattern here too. We are following the same pattern here. Put your cursor here. So I will do name and you people will guide me on revenue. Put your cursor on this name. Come and click on this logic and say if error. The if error argument will pop up. Name it as VLOOKUP as the value. Remember, you have to open brackets. And do what? After that, come here, click on the VLOOKUP to display the argument function. Click on this distribution ID, right? Sorry, it's a mistake. I say you put your cursor on this name, come to logic, if error, then type VLOOKUP, open brackets. Then you come back to this VLOOKUP, can see now. Okay, there's Or why is it like that? What's actually copied? Logic, if error, VLOOKUP, open brackets. Okay, so you can see now we have opened the bracket. Then you come to this formula bar and click the VLOOKUP here to display the logical, or let me say function arguments for the VLOOKUP. Then you now come here. What are you looking up to? I'm looking up to this value. Then come to this table array and press table 1. We've already named it, remember. Then what are we looking? Name. I say you can say control page up to see the name, the distribution name here. You can see names 1 and 2. Then you press 2 here. Your lookup range is always 0, like I told you. Then you would now, instead of you to say okay, don't say okay, come back to this your if error and press your what? Just tap your what? NA here. So press your NA here and you say okay. Can see now. Then you can just drag it to this point. So you have the right thing. Now, who will guide me on revenue now? It's like, is it my network or your network that is
Okay.
Sir.
Formula.
No, I wanted to say, me, I don't know how to use this formula bar. I just inserted, I don't used to go to formula bar, logical to insert the if error. Now just equals to if error, then brackets, VLOOKUP, then click on it. Instead of going to the formula bar, like I just like writing this once.
Okay, you just use this formula.
Yes, exactly.
If error, open brackets, and you can do that too. You can do that, but to avoid mistake, that's why I'm using this. There you go.
Okay.
Okay, fine. So now someone wants to assist me, right?
Yeah, click on that.
Oh yeah, let's go. I should click what?
Formula. Yeah,
click
on that. Yeah.
Formula.
Logical. If error, right?
If error. Yes. VLOOKUP.
I'll type VLOOKUP, Abby.
VLOOKUP, open bracket.
Correct.
Go to the VLOOKUP bar.
Oh my God.
Go to formula bar.
This
Yes.
guy is Abibuko. I'll click on the VLOOKUP, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then what will I put here?
Click on
function ID.
Yes.
Yeah.
Table array.
Table 1.
Index
Okay.
number 10.
For revenue, 10, right?
Yes,
Revenue 10.
And here and come
0.
I can
Zero.
put 0.
Okay.
0.
Is it still correct like this?
Yes.
No.
Yes. You can put it first. So yes.
It's correct. So I can put once you see that it's showing equal to 139.86, you know that it's correct. So you get so that you type first or you put 0. So it's still the same. So I want to click. I should click OK.
Don't click on.
You click on
like
if error.
If error.
I'll put what?
NA.
Yes. Say what?
Then okay.
Okay. I'll say okay. Wow. So clap for yourself. You have all done well.
Drag down.
Oh my God. I have a good student. So that is nice. That is nice. That is nice.
So they can see
Okay,
the other
you
one.
want to win money, Abby. Don't worry.
Equals
The
to
problem
sum.
you will do it for us. You now say
Equals
equals
to
to
sum.
sum. Then you click on this sum and you drag it to this point. Press your word, enter. And see now, have it. So someone said you want to do this one, right? So
the shortcut.
Oh yeah, the person should assist me now.
Okay, this one. Oh yeah,
Yes.
equals to if error.
Okay, equals to if error.
VLOOKUP. Then click on the first
distributor ID.
Comma. Then table.
Table.
Table 1.
Table 1.
Comma.
Then comma, go to the table.
The unit
Control
price.
page.
Control page up, right?
down.
Page.
Yes, sorry.
Control page up.
Page up. Yes.
Unit price is 9, Abi.
Yes,
Unit
9.
price is 9. 9.
Comma.
Comma,
9.
0.
0.
Close
I'll close the
bracket.
bracket.
Click
Close
on.
bracket.
Close,
Click on.
put comma 0 again.
No.
I'll put
No,
comma
put
now.
0 first. Put 0, then close bracket.
Yeah.
I'll now
No,
put
yes.
this
0.
one, Abi.
Put
I mean, I
any.
don't want to use any. I can just use 0 too, and then close bracket.
Okay, if you use 0, that means all these 30,000 will be 0 now.
Yes.
Instead of any.
And
Instead of
please,
any, you
why
can
you
use
put
0.
any now instead of putting 0?
Oh yeah, close bracket.
So you get. So I'll close it.
Enter.
Wow, it works.
Exactly.
So means if I'm learning, no. So I'll press Control Shift. Oh, sorry.
No, just drag it down.
I had to use Control Shift. So I can just say, okay, put here. I'll press Shift down arrow.
Yes.
Control D, Abi. Or is it Control R?
Yeah, just drag it down.
I should press Control D, Abi.
Yes.
Yes, Control D.
Control D, yes. Then I'll put here, I'll say equals to sum. I'll click this sum.
The first one.
Then I'll highlight it, this point. I'll close the bracket and press enter. A round of applause for yourself.
I feel this one is even much faster than going to the formula, logical.
But do you know that using that logical and all that is explanatory than this?
Yes,
no, this one is straightforward. This one is faster, but
this one is
using
faster.
It's better we go through the other one first to learn it.
This one is for the goons.
When you now master, you can now be twisting it the way you want.
Sure you get. You understand that point. So we have come to the end of the class and it is time to take questions. So let me listen to your questions so that I just want maybe like 2 or 3 questions and we'll close for the day. Any question?
My question is if probably we can get something in form of little notes that will make it faster in when we are doing a revision. Maybe something like a note, small note, maybe just about a page somewhere that we can easily be going through.
A page like, do you mean the YouTube link or probably a file like this that I'm working on?
Yes, file like this that like if you press F for it's got to this. If you press can give you this. If you press this, give you this.
Okay, you mean I should give you probably a note that comprises of shortcuts.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. I'll send it. I have one shortcut. I'll send it.
Okay, we'll appreciate it.
Like shortcut, summary of shortcut.
No problem. Although you can actually get it online. Just type Microsoft Excel shortcuts PDF.
I have it. I'll send it.
Someone can help us. Thank you. So any question again?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay.
My question is on data cleaning.
Data cleaning? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, on data cleaning now.
Okay. For the profit margin, I just want to know if there can be a scenario where we can have the percentage up, like having the percentage upward. Like whenever we reduce the revenue, it will also show. It will also show from the percentage upward.
Yes, once you if there is any reduction, if I tamper this revenue now, remember this profit margin now. Remember this profit margin is still in formula. So anytime I edit any revenue here, it will automatically change. So let's say this NA now. Can you see this NA? You understand? This NA now. Let's say I'm changing it to let me say 1,000, for example. I want to format it first too. You can see that it changed to 77.9%.
Yes.
Is that what you are saying?
Yes, but my question is now, for the profit margin, can we have like overall percentage?
Overall percentage by adding
Yes.
them together?
Yes, that will be like, maybe it will be a signal upward or in the front of the profit margin.
The overall percentage.
Yes, overall percentage.
What
Okay,
do
she's trying to
you
ask
think?
that.
Okay, I'm
She's trying to
listening.
ask that if there's a total for the profit margin, what is the overall percentage for all of them?
We cannot say it's 100% because we are only saying that this divided by this is actually profit margin. So we cannot say the overall everything here should be 100%. Sure, you get?
Yeah, yes, I know it cannot be 100%,
And
but at the front of
we are
the
doing data
profit
cleaning.
margin.
And also we are not asked to calculate here. We are only asked to clean the data.
Don't worry. We are only cleaning data, but
we're only cleaning data.
Okay,
we are not,
I'm listening.
If I can help.
Okay.
If I get what she wants clearly is that you have to sum up all the profits and get the total under. And now go to the column of every of the first name there, and now make the what is called against that total, and now make reference, absolute reference to that total, all of them.
Okay. And that what we're saying that
everybody related to the total.
And that what we're saying that we cannot be 100%. Because we are not asked to make calculation here. We are asked to clean the data here. The data has been given. The data has been structured already. We only to make it to be more meaningful.
Exactly. So you understand. Sometimes, when you are given something, you don't do. I'm not saying that it's not good to ask that question. It's very good, but sometimes you have to be very careful. Don't do over to know. Sure, you understand. Don't say that I want to.
You don't go outside the scope.
Say you get. Just let it be beyond the scope of what you are meant to do. Sure, you get. So me doing that again now is not that I'm no more doing data cleaning now. You understand? With what I have changed here now, I'm already. That means you can see this one I have changed now. It means that I'm already doing what? I'm already doing financial analysis. It's no longer a data cleaning. Sure, you understand?
Yeah.
But you will understand this on financial analysis. Like I always tell you that Ayodele is one of the financial analysts you can learn from. You can chat him up and say, okay, you want to learn financial analysis. Sure, you get. So I don't have what my financial model I built here is not on this laptop. This is a company laptop, it's on my personal laptop. So you will see how they actually did that profit margin, how they calculated the profit margin, how you can get income statements, balance sheets, cash flow, and all that. But it's not on this data analysis.
You not telling me that it's 1.5.
So you get, it's not on this data analysis. Or on the financial analysis aspect, you get to understand that. You understand now, man.
Thank you.
So any other question, please, so that we can close for
already on the system. Now
Sir, go to that VLOOKUP sheet, sir.
I told Amara, even
VLOOKUP sheet. Oh, please, sir, how did you create this part? It's now looking like
please let me hear the question. Someone should just mute his or her mic.
You can take the group. Last group.
Who's speaking French or outside there? Is
Hello,
that a
sir.
South African person?
No. Actually, is like.
Oh, flog you, South Africa.
I mentioned in group and I have marked you, Jatin, Anna.
Sir, my question is that.
Wait, I will attend to you. I will attend to you. That Cote d'Ivoire person should just keep mute till Sunday. Just wait till tomorrow, please. So after tomorrow, you can talk. Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, sir, I said, how did you create this part that is now looking like Word on Excel sheet? It's not showing that line.
Okay. Now, I want it to show line. I want this to show line. Just go to view and click on grid line. Can you see now? It's now Excel, Abi?
Yes, sir.
So I don't want it to be Excel again. I'll go to view again. Can you see this grid line?
Yes,
This
sir.
leg is one
I
seat.
won't
If you are
check it.
selling is one seat. But for this
Can you see
particular
now?
one, for this one, you are going to give the discount.
The particular
So
item is on view.
you said?
I said is under view. So under view.
Yes. Grid line is under view. Yes.
I'll just give discount on this one.
So, in absence of any question,
Sir.
and in order for us not
Yes, sir.
to disrupt that South African man, okay.